services at Google. I work at our Mountain View headquarters in California, and I'm really glad to be in Canada because I feel almost at home here. Cold, snow, ice. When's it coming? I've been with the company since pretty much the beginning, since August 1999, when there's about 35 people. A lot of what we created together with the founders still exists today. We've evolved, we've grown. We're 26,000 roughly people today, spread all over the world. But I still consider us a small company compared to a lot of other much larger companies. So we're here to talk about that, our experiences, and what we found to be true. And I'll let each of my other speakers here give their own intros.
Good morning. I'm Eden Bruckman. I'm the Vice President of the International Living Future Institute, and I've been running the day-to-day of the Living Building Challenge pretty much since its public launch here at Greenbuild, November 2006 at Denver. I have a background in architecture. I'm an architect licensed in California, practiced for about a dozen years. I worked a lot with material specifications and high-end commercial projects, as well as mixed use. So that's kind of where I come from with respect to the materials and specifications. Next challenge up.
Now you gotta stand.
Is it working? Yeah, great. So I'm Kirsten Ritchie. I'm Director of Sustainable Design for the Asia Pacific region of Gensler. I'm also one of your USGBC board members. Thank you for all of those who voted. And reminding you all that there is an election going on and we need you to vote, so please do that. I've been involved kind of in the green building space and green materials space since college, when I actually had the fortunate opportunity to work for a state agency where we were responsible for cleaning up landfills. And I saw how bad we were in managing our materials and all the problems that happened at the back end. So for my, I hate to confess, 30+ years of work in all different kinds of organizations, the last 5 years with Gensler, I really had kind of a passion and a drive to get us to healthier building materials kind of throughout the life cycle. And I look forward to sharing some of those insights with you this morning.
Okay, when I said we were going to do this a little differently, I really meant it. If you have questions, please just blurt them out. Stop us midstream and ask questions. If I don't like your question, I will tell you to stop. So, because we want to get through the material as well. And of course, at the end, we'll have lots of time for further questions. Yes?
I have a seat available here.
Seat, over here.
Right.
See? One more person. Need a seat? 2 seats? Okay. We're not sold out. Let's see. Let's start. Any more questions before we start? No? Again, I want this to be as interactive as possible. I want to tell you guys what you want to hear. I don't know what that is. So if there's things that are really important to you, not about the Google logo or the colors or kind of what color underwear does Sergey wear? I don't know. They're blue. No, but we want this to be valuable to you, all of you, and we have a lot to talk about. We can go for a whole day, literally. I'm supposed to click on that and it works, but it didn't. Okay, maybe we'll just forward it. That's it. Okay, so I'll start talking.
There.
There it is. Oh, the logo. Pretty. A lot of architects see the logo and they think, Google, they want all those primary colors in their office. We know what colors our logo are. There's an awful lot of things that we care about. You can go on our website and read some of the Google principles that drive what it is that we do every day, and we apply them to the real estate and the workplace services organization, which is a huge organization by now. But one of the things that we try to make sense of is we utilize the swarm rules, and some of you may know about this, some of you may not. I'm not an expert about it. I've actually been doing it all this time. So we try to understand what our impacts are. We always look for improvements, and we try to share what we learn and what we know. And please jump in and talk about this in more detail, because I know that there are a lot of people who have a slightly different thought about how to apply this. But we constantly seek out the smartest people in their fields, and we are always talking internally with our own people who are pretty damn smart. I'm not a PhD, I didn't graduate from Stanford, but I'm surrounded by those people all day long. And so why shouldn't we take benefit from that and learn from them and get their opinions along the way, as opposed to what a lot of other companies do, which is, they set their structure, they set their rules, and real estate's job is to keep them from following them, to keep them to follow those rules. When I asked Larry and Sergey in the beginning, what do you guys want me to do? I can, if I'm gonna have to replicate this company city after city for the next number of years, I need some structure. I need a set of specifications, something I can pull off the shelf and hand to the architects and make some sense of things. And they look at me like I was nuts. I said, absolutely not. We want everything to be different every time. We want constant improvement. And if you look at the Google products, that's what the company does. They roll out some native product, and they keep iterating while they're gathering feedback and while they're fixing the bugs and perfecting the product. So we do that with our space just as well. Think about it. How many times do you go somewhere and you think, they just would, adjust it this way a little bit more, or adjust it that way a little bit more? How much better it would be. My hotel room is a great example. You just put smoke seals around the doors. I wouldn't have to listen to the door slam outside the hallway at 4:30 in the morning, every single morning. So I'm tired. But, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, these things are really, really key to our culture, and I think to any normal culture that really cares about their employees and wants them to have the best opportunities for success. So why do we care? Well, it's a company that's driven by two mad scientists, mathematicians, Larry and Sergey, from the beginning and to this day. Larry Page is now the CEO again. Eric Schmidt is still the chairman, but Larry's got enough gray hair that he felt it was safe to come back to the helm because he started off as the CEO. Really, the two smartest guys you will ever encounter in your life. And these guys are not just intelligent and smart about what they do, but they really care about everything. An example of this I like to talk about is we were doing a project at our headquarters, and it was during demolition. I was walking through and I was giving Larry and Eric a tour, and there were windows popped open and fans blowing all the dust out, trying to cycle in enough fresh air, etc. And this demo guy's walking around with masks or no masks on to protect himself from the dust and debris. And Larry said, "Why don't you get some more fans?" I said, "Why?" Those fans over there. He goes, "Well, these guys need good indoor air quality too." And he cared about the demolition guys who were getting paid $6, $7, $8, $9 an hour and their health, as much as the Stanford PhDs that we have working for us. So I tell that story because not many people will ever hear that and know that these guys do care that much. So if we optimize everything that we do around human health, focus on human health, then guess what? We don't pollute the planet. We don't, we don't use a greater share of our CO2 than we should. We don't waste energy. We don't do all these things, but starting first and foremost with human health. And that's what we've cared about in 1999 from the beginning, before anybody was using these sustainability rules or even talking about them. And that's what we care about today. And that's what we're going to continue to care about. I'll go on, I have more stories later, but internally we have a lot of different programs, as you might have read or heard, or maybe you're fortunate enough to see, to take care of our own people. In the beginning, we hired massage therapists because computer scientists and engineers are sitting at their desk in front of these big monitors. At the time, there were these big CRTs, and they're sitting there, all hours of the night sometimes. It's not good for your body, because we're not meant to be sitting at a desk, hunched over a keyboard, staring at tiny little letters on the screen. And these guys who are writing code are really looking at the smallest of font sizes. So we said, massage therapists to fix that problem. And so we did, and we also played roller hockey. I'm a hockey town, so I'm going to talk about hockey. We played roller hockey at the Stanford parking lot. We, every Thursday, would put our rollerblades on and throw our gear over our shoulder and skate from downtown Palo Alto to Stanford parking lot and have an hour and a half of break time. Forced break time was always good fun. It's funny to watch engineers play ice or roller hockey. They're good, but they're good in a different way. Kind of why I'm at the company, because they were impressed by my skills. And hockey, not for my Stanford degree. But, so what we know, we've done an awful lot of our own testing early on. We wanted to know exactly what was around us. So we did our own testing and sampling of outdoor air, indoor air, and as much as we could in the early days to find out about materials. And for the materials side of things, in the beginning, all we really had was Larry's nose. And when I would come and I'd say, hey guys, I've got this carpet, I need to put it in 2 weeks. What do you think? Do you like it? And it was a carpet tile that was not intended to be a carpet tile goods. It was supposed to be rolled goods, and it had been cut into tiles, and nobody wanted it because the patterns didn't work very well on it. It was good quality stuff. I bought it for a fraction of the price. It was available that day. Literally, I could put it in next week. And Larry picked it up, and he looked at it, didn't say anything, and he just went, smelled it. So, seems reasonable. And really what he was after was if there was any sort of odor, any sort of smell, there was an assumption in his mind that it was not good for you. And he's right. Today, I didn't bring it with me, but normally I bring out a VOC, handheld VOC meter. That's his nose today. And he has this $8,000 piece of equipment that he walks around and points it at things, and if it registers a level of VOCs, he says, oh, what's going on here? You guys are trying to kill me. Oh, how many manufacturers are there? I know you guys are not trying to kill us, but we want to help you improve your products as much as possible, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. So, thankfully, we don't have to rely on Larry's nose, but or Sergey's nose, because they both have that same sense. I was in a tour looking at buildings early on, and we were on this balcony. We opened the door, Sergey stuck his nose out, literally stuck his nose out the door and sniffed, and he said, I smell benzene, and the tour was over. That was it. We were too close to the freeway, it was, for whatever reason, it was enough for him to turn down this building, which was readily available, cheap, perfect in every other way. So we have all these wellness programs we can talk about, but now we have more than massage therapists. We have doctors on site. We have my chiropractor, I have Rod on site. We have also Sergey's chiropractor, just by complete coincidence. We have food,